This is the OPAL Winter Fun Day, which has been organised by the Natural History Museum. And the point of today is to to meet some of the community, the local community, and encourage more people to get outside and engage with nature.
What I'm doing here is showing off various fungi. I'm a member of London Fungi Group, and there's a group of enthusiasts. There are about 60 or 70 of us in London. And what we do is we go out and about through London looking for fungi, identifying them for scientific purposes. We record them and we send our information off to local record centres, and also every now and then we go out and collect stuff to have a big fry-up. What we have here is really something rather special. This is an Earth star, and actually a rather rare one. It's only ever been found about 10 times in this country. It's called Geastrum floriforme, and it's a much smaller relative of this big one, which is a common Earth star. Now, they're called Earth stars because of this rather star-like shape. Another thing about them is they have this very special mechanism for sending their spores, which make baby fungi. Little raindrops fall on the top and out they come. Millions and millions and millions of spores.
We're science educators from the Natural History Museum, and this table here is some of the wildlife that you can find in the UK, and particularly in the Wildlife Garden at the Natural History Museum. So you can see we've got things like foxes, squirrels, hedgehog, got a badger skin here, and the idea is that people can come up, have a closer look at them, find out a bit more about the kind of wildlife that they can find in urban areas like London, and yeah, get a chance to observe them a bit more closely.
What we're doing here at the British Lichen Society stand is introducing the general public, anyone who comes along, to an extraordinary group of organisms called the lichens, of which there are over 1,500 different sorts, different species in this country. Many lichens are simple, almost inconspicuous crusts like that over the surface of the twig in this case, while others are more leafy, like this, and others again are quite bushy. And they're the three major growth forms that we recognise in the lichens.
So I've got a USB microscope here that we've got linked up to the laptop, and we're just having a closer look at some of the plants and animals that we found in the park this morning when I went out and had a little hunt. So we're just having a look at these small slugs. This is a ginkgo leaf, which I collected outside the museum earlier this week, outside the Natural History Museum. And this is a really ancient type of leaf, which they found fossil specimens of from 270 million years ago. So it's really sort of ancient species. It's hardly changed at all since then. It's quite unusual in having all these veins that sort of fan out.
We're a society that's interested in wildlife in London, all over London. We've been in existence for 150 years now. In fact, 2008 is our 150th anniversary. We began with a group of people who were interested in butterflies and moths. Now we're interested in all the wildlife that you see in London: birds, flowers, insects, fungi, you name it. And what we tend to do is to run field meetings during the summer and during the autumn, 1 or 2 a week, going to different sites in the London area and sometimes outside the London area as well, to introduce people, especially young people, to what you can see in the countryside.
So we're here today to represent London Wildlife Trust. London Wildlife Trust is part of a network of wildlife trusts across the whole of the UK, working to conserve the wildlife and also the green spaces of London. So what we do is we have a range of wildlife reserves across London that we encourage people to go and visit. They're free to visit, and also we work to conserve rare species and habitats across London as well. I mean, actually 2/3 of London is made up of green spaces and water, which is a great surprise to a lot of people. So what we're asking people to do today is actually maybe go and visit one of our reserves or another Wildlife Trust reserve if you're from outside London, find out a bit more about the work of the trusts, and also maybe to do something for wildlife in your own garden as well. That can be something really small, like actually kind of just putting more wildlife-friendly plants on your decking, or it could be something like creating a wildlife pond. So we give people lots of advice on how they can encourage wildlife into their garden, and also to try and promote wildlife conservation across the whole of the capital.